Hi, welcome to Monday Night Storytime. Tonight's story is called Boy, and it's written by Phil Cummings and Shane DeVries. It's a great story. Once there was a king who lived high on a hill. His castle looked over the valley to the mountains beyond. He was a powerful man with many brave knights. Here are his knights. Cling, clong, clang, cling, cling, clong, clang, cling, cling, clong, clang. They make lots of noise, apparently. The mountains were once rich with trees, but a powerful dragon had destroyed much of the forest with his fiery breath. In a small village on the end of the burned forest lived Boy. Boy couldn't hear, but he was happy. He spoke with dancing hands, and he drew pictures for people in the sand. His parents loved his stories, but the villagers didn't understand. What a strange child, they would say as they walked by. Since the forest had been burned, the king and the dragon had fought many fierce battles. There was roaring, flapping, running around, hiding, dodging, weaving, and a lot of shouting. See, there's the dragon, roar, and the king and his knights charge, cling, cling, clong, ting, ting, tong. Lots of noise. Boy couldn't hear the battle cries, but he had seen the fear in his mother's eyes and felt it in his father's hands when he held him close. The battles were loud and long, but no one ever won. One day when the king and the dragon were battling once more, Boy ran right into the middle of it all. See, there he is. This is interesting. There's the people in the village, and they see how afraid they are? And the battle is all around him. He doesn't know it's there. The knights were stunned. "Move!" they shouted. "Get out of the way, Boy," ordered the king. There's the king. "Roar!" bellowed the dragon. But of course, Boy couldn't hear them. Flames flared from the dragon's nostrils. Hiss. The knights waved their swords frantically as they marched over to Boy. "Why aren't you listening?" shouted the king. It's an angry king. Boy was surprised when he looked up and saw them all. He watched them for a moment, and then he made his hands dance. The knights were flabbergasted. The king was puzzled. The dragon was mystified. Look at them watching him. But they could see that they didn't understand him. Boy could see that they didn't understand him. So he took a sword and wrote in the sand, "Why are you fighting?" There was silence until suddenly the king pointed to the dragon. "He started it," he cried. "He burned our forest." The dragon shook his head. "It was an accident," he roared. "I sneezed a fireball into the trees. I came to say sorry, but your knights chased me away." The knights pointed to the king. "He told us to," they cried. So this is an important page because everybody's blaming everybody else, right? It's really important. The king looked up at the dragon. "Well, I thought you were coming to take my castle," he said. "Your castle is far too small for me," the dragon replied. "All I want is for you to stop chasing me. I don't like being scared," said the dragon. "Nor do we," chorused the knights. Look at them raising their hands. "We don't want to be scared." Boy drew a picture of everyone in the sand. He showed them how their days could be without fighting and fear. There was a lot of chatting and laughing. Look at them. Look at the king. He's actually smiling. I promise the knights won't chase you anymore, said the king to the dragon, and you can visit my castle whenever you like. And I will cover my nose when I sneeze, said the dragon. Boy couldn't hear a word, but he didn't need to. Back in the village, everyone was waiting to see Boy. Thank you, they said with dancing hands. This means thank you. So, isn't this a great book? I love this story. So I was thinking about what we might write in the sand or what we might say. And I was thinking that there's a lot of people right now that aren't getting along about lots of things. So I have a very simple message, and my message is this. Listen with your heart. Sometimes I feel like when I'm talking to somebody, I'm listening to argue with them so that I can be right. And I decided that the message that I learned from Boy, from this book, was that if I listened with my heart, I might hear maybe what that person is afraid of or what they're worried about. And so I'm going to try to listen with my heart. But I would love to know what you might write in the sand to people who aren't getting along. What would your message be? Maybe you could send that to me. Thanks for reading with me.